Hello everyone, it's me, Teacher Marge. Today we're going to talk about multiplication. Now, what is the spelling of multiplication? So we have multiplication. Okay, correct. Now, what do you think will be the meaning of multiplication? Okay, now, multiplication means repeated addition. When we say repeated addition, it means like 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So there are 4 3's, so it is equivalent of 3 times 4. Let's have an example. So we have here 5 times 4 equals 20 parts of multiplication. So the first one is what we call multiplicand. The symbol that we are using in multiplication is what we called multiply by or times. Okay, now the second number is what we call multiplier, and the last one is what we call product. Now, what are the meaning of each part of multiplication? So the first one is what we call multiplicand. Multiplicand, a number that is to be multiplied by another number, which is the multiplier. The second one is what we called multiplier. Multiplier means a number that is used to multiply a multiplicand. The next one is what we call product. Product means an answer for multiplication. And lastly, multiply by or times, as we commonly use, this one is what we call a sign or symbol for multiplication. So we have multiplicand, multiplier, product, multiply by or times. So in multiplication, we have 5 properties. So the first one is what we call commutative property. When we say commutative property, it means changing position. Yes, you're right. Commutative property can be used in addition property. This is what I'm talking about. So you can change their position. So the first one is multiplicand, the other one is multiplier. When we change their position because of this property, it becomes multiplier multiplied by multiplicand. So it doesn't matter if you change their position. So even we change the position of the numerals or number, the answer are still the same, which is 28. The next one is what we call associative property. Associative property means changing group. So let's have an example of associative property. Now, so in associative property, they can even change their group. Like for example this, A times parenthesis B times C close parenthesis equals parenthesis or open parenthesis A times B close parenthesis times C, or it can be B times open parenthesis A times C close parenthesis. So you can even change their position or group rather, and you will get the same answer. So here, even we change the group of the numerals or a number, the answer are still the same, which is 30. The third property of multiplication is what we call identity property, or in other book they call that multiplying by 1. identity property or multiplying by 1 means any number that multiplied to 1, the answer is the number or numeral. So it means A times or A multiplied by 1 is equal to A, or 856 multiplied by 1 is equal to 856. We have the fourth property of multiplication. This one is what we call multiplying by 0. Multiplying by 0 means any numeral or number that multiply to 0, the answer is 0. Which means we can even multiply any big number to 0 and you will get the answer of 0. Like for example, 56,856 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. Or 7 multiplied by 0, it is equal to 0. We call distributive property. It means it is used to multiply a number to a 2 or more terms inside the parentheses. So this one, a number outside can be multiplied in each of the term inside the parentheses, or each number inside the parentheses. So it's look like this: A multiplied by parenthesis B plus C parenthesis is equal to parenthesis A times B, which is like this. You can group together, write the symbol which is plus, and A multiply it by C. So let's have an example. So 5 times parenthesis 8 plus 9 parenthesis equals parenthesis 5 times 8 parenthesis plus parenthesis 5 times 9 parenthesis. So even you use the first one and you will use another way like the second one, you will get also the final answer. That is distributive property. Let's do some exercises. So this one, identify the property of multiplication in each number. So I will give some numbers, and after that I will show the answer. Now welcome back. So like what I've said, I am going to give the answer. The first one, 6 times 8 equals 8 times 6. What property is this? This one is what we call commutative property, correct? The next one, 78,945 times 0 is equal to 0. The answer is multiplying by 0, correct? Next, 3 times parenthesis 7 times 4 parenthesis is equal to 3 times 7 times 4. So they changed their group. This one is what we call, yes, associative property. So like what we did here in these 3 numbers, I will give more numbers. And I want you to answer it again. So pause this video. Then after that, I will give the answer. Okay, welcome back. So the fourth one, we have 84,758 multiplied by 1 is 84,758. This one is what we called multiplying by 1 or identity property, correct? Next, 5 times parenthesis 7 plus 9 equals parenthesis 5 times 7, parenthesis plus parenthesis 5 times 9, parenthesis. What property is this? This property is what we call distributive property, correct? Next one, we can change their position. This one is what we call, yes, correct, commutative property. And the last one, I have already the answer, which is 0. So this one is multiplying by 0.